Welcome to my podcast, Let Me Be Me, and here are my thoughts. Hello, lovely people. Um, Today I wanna talk with you about collective complicity, because of the reason that I was watching a documentary in German about the um, the past colony Namibia, because one of a German journalist, Aminata Belli, she made a documentation about Namibia, and in this documentation, it was for me really incredible how unreflected white people can be the with the with the past of colonization. It was really, in one point, it was also quite painful to listen to this person who was talking about it, and um, I wanna set at this point also a trigger warning, because I wanna have examples in sexism, and also past history things from Germany, what can be re-traumatizing people. So just that you're aware of that. And here we go. So collective complicity. It's like the guilt what a society have from the past, from their ancestors. So it's mean that this collective complicity, it's um, it's made by our ancestors, and I talking now because I talking this way because I'm a mixed person, so I have white ancestors and black ancestors. So, and that mean for me, in all, I'm between the shares, I'm between societies, and for me it's incredible how people um, can't adapt to the collective complicity, because if I understand what my guilt is from the past, that I have colonizers in my ancestors, and I also have people who was under slavery in my ancestors, and I need to acknowledge myself to understand in this way that I, as a mixed person, have also responsibility to fight against the collective complicity which was cursed by my white ancestors in the past, to not having this kind of colonization or any kind of discrimination happen again. So of course it sounds, or it sounds like I try to burden myself to put every girl on me. No, that's not the point what I want to do here. The point is for me that we need to understand that ancestors rise, that there was shit, a really deep shit was taken by my white ancestors and by a white society from Europe, what came to other countries, colonized them, put slavery on them, because slavery was not made with based on racism. It was already in Europe a thing. It was like the east of Europe was under slavery from the Western culture, and Germany is one part of that. That German people have a collective complicity to acknowledge themselves, to understand what the ancestor did to people in other countries, that they, as living people right now, that they benefit from this. And an example for that is in the documentary what I was watching about Namibia, that 70% in Namibia of land, it's owned by white people. Do you think this is correct? Do you think 70% of a country who belongs to black people, it's still under control from white people. Because the black people I saw there, they're living in poor. They are poor. They are living in ghettos. They don't have land. They need to sell their stuff to tourist people, and the white people over there have land what is huge, what is wealthy, where they have no issue, where they can houses and all that stuff, and they not they living on land what does not belong to them. Because just a backstory about the colony from Germany is that the first Holocaust was not made in Germany. The first Holocaust was made in Namibia, because there was the first concentration camp, and who was in them was the Ovairero and Hamam, and this was the first genocide what happened in German history for against black people. And I didn't hear that much about that thing in school, what is incredibly a shame, because it's a part of the German history and we need to acknowledge that, and we need to pass that to our new generation, that this kind of stuff never happen again. And you can't let things happen again if you are not knowing about them. If you're not knowing about stuff, you reproduce racism, you reproduce sexism, you reproduce ableism, and for all, ableism is the discrimination against disabled people, and this kind of stuff. If you don't acknowledge yourself about all that stuff, you can't really fight against it, because we all live in a society. The society is reproduce racism, sexism, ableism, and all that stuff. So in this point, we need to focus on our language, how we can change our language to include people. And of course, not everybody need to understand what it's mean, the collective complicity, and how I feel about the collective complicity. But I want to make a point here. If you don't understand your ancestors and what they made and what they have done to other people, I think you can't understand, if you are, in this example, if you be reading as a man, you can't understand sexism. So if you don't understand sexism, how you want to support women and being an ally? And in this opinion, also, what is really on the point for me or obvious is I can't tell, or I can't say I'm an ally if I not acknowledge myself about sexism and call people out when they are sexist. Because just to recognize them, it's a part of acknowledgement what we need to try to understand. And in the same way, what white people need to acknowledge is the racism, if they're not affected by them, that they need to try to understand how I can help them. And the first of all, what I would understand if I'm a white person in Namibia and my land was created by colonialism, I need to think or rethink about it, how I can support the black community over there and how I can give partial back the land where I'm living from. So, because the land where they are living, it's not their land. Black people in Namibia living in poorness and suffer in so many other ways. What the white people over there, they're really privileged. They have wealth and all that because they're still living with the colonized things they got from their ancestors. So the woman over there, she was really, in my opinion, she was really unreflected. She understand the guilt what the black people are, like, putting on her, but she not really, maybe she not understand it because she was all the time, oh yeah, but um I'm not responsible what my ancestors did. No, you are responsible what your ancestors did. Because if you really acknowledge yourself and saying, okay, I want to do it better than my ancestors, then in this point of view, you should give back land to people who are suffering. Because the Overhero and Hammam, they was Germany tried to erase them from Namibia. You need to think about it. They tried to erase other ethnicity from the world just because they're thinking white people are more worthy than other people. And if I understand it as a mixed person with white ancestors, why a white person can't understand that there's a collective complicity in this world? Well, we need to acknowledge ourselves. If I acknowledge myself and say, hey, I was born and raised in Germany. I'm a mixed person, so I have white ancestors and black ancestors. So my black ancestors was suffering. My white ancestors was the superior. So I need to acknowledge myself that what my white ancestors did to my black ancestors, that this never happened again. And never, yeah, just the point, never happen again. And if I acknowledge myself in that, I can try to use my privilege to acknowledge other people and try also to give things from my privilege back to others and try to assist them and try to help them. So in this point of view, in my opinion, is it really how did the English word is missing. For me, it's really a common sense to say that I have a collective complicity in this point of view because I have a profit of my lighter skin, what I have from my white ancestors, and that people say, oh, my skin color is beautiful, and now there's a trend that's coming that that white people want to have like a chocolate baby, and for me it's like, what the fuck? So it's like, come on, you can't, please don't compare me to chocolate or something else. If everybody else, or if someone is affected by that and doing it, this is not the deal. But if you are not affected by the racism level, what the people are experiencing, don't do it. And don't fetishize the people to just saying, oh, this is good. Because if you fetishize people in this way, you also will be harming your own kid. Because you are not acknowledging that it's not just a beautiful color, it's also that this kid experience racism. But if you're just saying, oh no, I have now a beautiful chocolate baby and I love my baby, then you put all your love in the skin color, but not in your baby. And I think this is it's actually a trend at the moment, and we need to be careful in that, because if you need to acknowledge yourself that your kid suffering in so many levels and in so many societies around the world, just because the skin color is not that worthy you're thinking of it. And it is a shame to that so many white people are not thinking about the consequences what the ancestors did, because in the normal way, or in the international way, a white person will always benefit somehow in our society, because you are worthy, you are wealthy, and you are you always have the detachment, or the attachment that you are the superior. And in my opinion, what I see, because I already see just as a light-skinned person that I'm have a benefit of it, that I'm not that dark than other people. Even I'm affected by racism. But in this documentary, to going back to the documentary, it, for me was really a shock that she feel the views of the black people in Namibia and saying that she can't understand the guilt, but she knows there's a guilt, and trying with her art what she's doing to express herself, to process the guilt what is putting on her. But she was clearly saying that she is not in a point of view that she need to get blamed what the ancestors did. And there I definitely say this is a wrong thinking, because everybody should blame what is happened in the past, because the past was give our past already where we belong. Because since I have a white mother, I already have a privilege that she, even she's affected by sexism, that she are more worthy in the society in Germany than I am. So she can fight more and be listened more than other people with foreign roots, or with other look, with darker skin, with other body traits in this point. So she have a privilege, and we need to always acknowledge our privilege. And if we acknowledge our privilege, we can use our privilege to assist people and not cursing harm, because we want to try to make a safer space. And here I want to say, even because people say that colonialism was had also some good stuff. In my opinion, colonialism in the roots, it's not good. There's no good things happening, and it's still going on, the curses of colonialism, because Europe is in the world still the center of the world, because you have so many big companies where they went to other companies to have the like diamonds, like resources and all that stuff from other countries, from Africa and from Latin America, to use them and build companies with a white with the right leader, and get the profit and being billionaires, because most of the people on the top of our world and the wealthiness are white. And we need to acknowledge that, and we need to think about how this happened. And normally this happen that other people suffer for them. And if you have a high privilege just because of your skin color, then use it to acknowledge this and try to focus to not repeat the past. And if you are living on a land what is belonging to other people, acknowledge yourself and saying, hey, maybe I should, even if it's painful for yourself, to give away a part of this land to the people which are belonging there. And nobody says that you need to give all your land to people you don't know. But in one point, you should, if you have a huge land where you're living, maybe with a tiny house or something, I don't know, try to go in a discourse with people who are suffering in your country, to making it better, to give land back to them, because then you realize that your profit is made by your ancestors. And I think this is the whole point of this collective complicity, where we need to understand that that wealthy is coming with privilege, and I think what happening, now I have my words. I lost my words. I'm sorry. But I think my point in this all is just why I, as a mixed person, can understand that I have collective complicity because of my white ancestors, but why people are not understanding that they made a huge mistake because they still rob people in Latin America, in Northern America. The indigenous people still get robbed by the land. And we need to acknowledge that. We need to try to fight against that. And if you have this high privilege, you need to assist them as an ally. And here my point, if you're an ally, don't expect that you be a hero for that. Because you are not. Because your ancestors did a mistake, and this is the collective guilt, the collective complicity, what you have from your ancestors, that you just can assist them to not doing this shit again. And you can't say that oh, I'm a good person because I do this and this. No, you should doing this because you know about your collective complicity. And I think this is my whole point, because a woman will not put you as a hero if you are putting yourself above them and saying, hey, I'm not a sexist and I'm assisting women that they have a safer space. Because if I would do that, it would be completely ridiculous. I can't say that I want what is it? Yeah, it's for me it's a ridiculous point to say, hey, you are I assisting women, like going home with them or call them and assisting them that they are feeling safe to not feeling unsafe by other men. And this would be a completely wrong thinking if you're trying to assist and being an ally, and then in the future saying, oh yeah, but I did it this and this and now I'm a hero because I didn't was a sexist to women. No, this is not a game. The game is that you are assisting, and you are unconditionally assisting people and not thinking that you need to get something back from them, because you don't need to get something back. I don't need to get something back from assisting women in against men when they are affected by sexism. This is not the game. And this I try to make this point because it's easier, I would say, for people to understand that if I get in another point of view. And this is because all the discrimination level, they have differency, but they also have things in common to each other. And like you see with the trans community at the moment, that they are like demonized to being infecting our kids and all that is bullshit. Because, or when a trans woman compete in the Olympic Games and saying she's advanced because she have the male traits of the biological body, this is bullshit. Because if he's saying that it's the same with racism, that all the black people in the world are faster than white people, this is bullshit. So, and then why we thinking about trans people have their own Olympics or get erased by Olympics, but black people can compete with white people in the Olympics? It makes no sense, because they are based on false beliefs of racism, of transphobic beliefs, and all that stuff. And we need to acknowledge that. And this is the point of collective complicity, to acknowledge yourself that there are bad people around us who trying to I have a fly here, shit. To demonize people to get more attention. And it's in the in the most ways, it's the conservative who is trying to make this punchline to get more attention from the main society, from the majority of the society. And so I think this is an appel for everybody that if you have privilege, you have a collective complicity, and you should unconditionally use your privilege to assist people who are discriminated in different level. Thank you very much for listening to my podcast. This time I was recording myself as well because I want to go on YouTube with my both podcasts. And if you have any information or you want to put more things or how you see collective complicity as a thing, put it in a comment. Of course, be respectful, but thank you very much for listening. I wish you a wonderful day. If you're home and it's raining, the sun is out, or snowing, wherever you're in the world, make your hot chocolate, drink water, or make your coffee, and relax. I think it was a nice topic, or to talk about it. And just relax now, enjoy your day, enjoy your evening, and I send hugs and kisses to you. Ciao.